It's Diane, and I would like to show you my craft room before I mess it up again. I cleaned it up yesterday, but I have other projects that I want to start, so I want to get this filmed before I make a mess. So I'm just walking into my craft room. I don't have a pretty craft room, but it is serviceable. It has just what I need in it. Right here's my an ironing board. And up here I have, from Sam's Club years ago, I purchased this paper storer, and it has my 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock and various miscellaneous types of paper, and I just store some excess stuff up there. And that paper holder is sitting on an armoire that used to be in my bedroom. And inside the armoire are notebook papers, ledger papers, graph papers, these papers that I use in junk journals, some binders that I'm hoping to make things out of, my smash books that I haven't started using yet, and this container has papers that I'm collecting to make a fashion smash book, fashion theme. And then there's other 6x6 papers here, pretty recipe cards and plain index cards for making my recipe books that I make. Back here I have some books, little books that I've made, little notebooks, and there's a Halloween smash book back there. And on this shelf I have envelopes, coin envelopes, card envelopes, and envelopes I brought home from work, because I do the greeting cards at the pharmacy I work at, and when the cards get thrown out, the cards get sent back for recycling and the envelopes get thrown out. So I just bring some of the envelopes home with me. So I have quite a collection. On the walls, on the doors of the armoire, I hung up these sticky hooks for hanging up my stickers. So on this side I have words and quotes, and on this side just the regular stickers, some border stickers, miscellaneous. I don't use a ton of stickers, but I like to have some. And then the bottom half of the armoire holds the book covers from all the library books that I get for free or for $1, and I just keep the covers and cover them with pretty papers to make my books. So I have a lot of them, as you can see, all different sizes. And then I have my bind-it all wires in here. And down here I have the 1-inch wires in their boxes. I store them, I wrap them in newspaper so they don't get all tangled up in there. So that's that. Over here is just miscellaneous things, supplies on the wall, mostly sewing things. And I have a basket down here, a hamper, that I keep my fabrics in. And this wastebasket holds rolls of mulberry paper and glassine paper in pretty colors. And I take pictures of the books that I make, and I print some of the pictures and put them in these inexpensive albums, so that when I need inspiration I can just pick up an album and look through it and get ideas for things I've done before that I may have forgotten about. Here's some music. I have to have music while I'm crafting. And a few mini albums that I've made. Maybe I'll do videos on them. And I have these plastic drawers in which I store my rubber stamps, some of them. I have a large collection of rubber stamps because I've been doing it for many years. So they're labeled as to what type of stamp they are. And down here I have other miscellaneous things. There's sheet music in there that I can use. That drawer is full of junk mail to use in junk journals, and little miniature books, and some kits and things, and bags. Down here I have my sewing supplies. This is where my sewing machine is, and down below the table is where I keep my more fabrics, threads, scissors, all the stuff I need for sewing is right there. My sewing chair is piled full right now of Christmas papers and journaling cards, things like that, because I started working on a December daily. And then up here I have my wire shelving. There's a antique cookie jar there that I got at a soda shop, ice cream shop that was going out of business. And I keep ribbons in there. This wooden box has paints in it. My Bind It All is here. And this cigar box has the things that came with my Bind It All, the little book and the wire cutters, etc. And this is a letter holder that has my alphabet stickers in it. This, I have 2 containers that hold my Cricut cartridges. The books, I just keep the overlay right inside the book, and then the cartridges go here. So I have 2 containers of Cricut cartridges. My Big Bite is here, and this is another item I brought home from work. This is a box that had, because I work in the pharmacy, and this box had bottles in it. So I brought it home. I thought, well, perfect, I'll put my little bottles in it. So it's got my homemade glimmer mist and other little sprays that I have. This is a wooden cigar box that I got. I've had it for years. But it has some chipboard pieces and some pieces that I've cut from the Cricut in there. I just have to remember that it's there and actually use it. Up here is a box that I bought at a yard sale, and I'm going to cover it, paint over it. I don't really like it, but I like the box. I just didn't like the painting on it. But anyway, it has my Studio G brand of stickles and some flocking in here. Things I don't use often, but they're there. And then I have this little tool box that my husband gave me. Had to clean it up so I could use it, but it is full of different shapes of paper clips, different colors of paper clips, metal fasteners, book plates, just various little things like that, and some miscellaneous vellum quotes and things like that in here, maybe some rub-ons in here, and some binder clips up there. Down here I have my boxes of folders. I use folders to make tags, and I use them quite a lot when I'm making books. I bought a box of colored folders, which I haven't done anything with, and then I have this box of protectors, page protectors, and some of them have pockets in different sizes. And I'll show you what I do with them. And here I have these little boxes that I got at Target at the dollar spot, and they have all of my journaling cards and journaling pads and my smash pads. I have three of those little ones. Whoops. And one big one that has the larger pads in it. And it also contains some of my homemade ones. I like to make them. And I have a lot of journaling cards. I have some adhesives here, some corner punches, my glue sticks, my extra ones, my little smash labeler, and some tapes, duct tape. And here is just a little plastic box. If I can open it, I'll show you. Well, I can't open it with one hand, but it is full of tabs. I have the Stampin' Up! Tab punch, and I also have Cricut cartridges that make different sizes, different shapes of tabs. So when I have a small little tiny piece of paper left that I like, and I can't use the paper for anything, and I don't want to throw it away, I just make tabs. And I have them there for when I need a tab for something. I just grab that box and pick one out. My washi tapes are in this. My husband made this shelf for me. It has the dowel here for putting on my Stampin' Up! Punches, and then a shelf over it for all my other punches. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Corner punch, I use that all the time. So it's handy. This is where I sit. So it's handy having all these right within my reach. And then also within my reach, I have my cups and buckets of different types of markers and pens. And this is a desk organizer that has my ATG tape, my Crystal Effects, which is the Stampin' Up. It's the same thing as Glossy Accents. My Scotch Quick Dry. And I also keep this little container of pins right here so I can open up these two items when they get clogged. It's nice to have them right there. And then right here I have my glue sticks that I'm using and my red line tape. I have this container that I've purchased and I haven't decorated it yet. I have a lot of things in here I want to cover and decorate, but I haven't done them yet. But it's divided in 4, so I have my rulers, my scissors, my stylus, and my knife, and my pens and pencils. And then another desk organizer here that has my Cricut tools, some extra blades, some tape, and some punches. Here I used a paper clip so I could hang my Tim Holtz word stickers and Adage tickets. And then on this paper clip, on book rings, I have pieces of the manila folders, and I did the different techniques with distress inks and then wrote on the back of each card how that technique was done, so that when I want to do something I can just look at the card and see what I need and how to do it. I also punched my border punches and edge punches, so I just see what I have, see what would work with the project. My ATG gun usually is sitting right there. I have a brayer here. Right here is another unfinished storage thing that I bought on clearance at Michael's. But I use this when I'm doing a project. If I'm doing recipe projects, I keep things in there for that. Right now I'm doing Christmas, so I have various Christmas die cuts, journaling cards, Cricut cuts, whatever, stickers, so I can just, they're not just all over my table. This is something I made out of a cereal box. Cut the cereal box at an angle, cover it, glue it together, and then it's holding a couple of tools in the back here and my tags, my shipping tags. I use them a lot in the books that I make. And right next to me is my Cricut. I don't have the Cricut Expression. It's just the basic Cricut, and I really, really like it. I'm happy with it. Put this back where it belongs. There's a project one of my recipe book projects that I put on hold till after Christmas. I think that's where I'm going to end right now, and I will continue this video for part 2 of my craft room.